The Doomsday Clock. It estimates how close we are to a civilization-ending apocalypse. Right now, it's set at 100 seconds to midnight. That's the closest it's ever been to the witching hour. The bulletin of the atomic scientists say we are at doom's doorstep. To blame, they say, security threats, a lack of climate policies, and an insufficient response to the pandemic rolled into one big mess. Scientists set the clock back in January, before Russia even invaded Ukraine. They say the clock is meant to encourage the world to work together to ease the threats facing all of us, but some prefer we just get ready in case midnight strikes. Here's CNBC's Rahel Solomon.
Doomsday end of the world preppers. Once synonymous with fringe fanatics, hoarding supplies suddenly look a lot less crazy these days. Jason Charles is a former New York City firefighter and proud prepper.
My definition of a prepper is somebody who prepares for anywhere between small emergencies to large emergencies. This mask is a nuclear biological chemical mask.
Jason, who also hosts the Angry Prepper channel on YouTube with 117,000 subscribers, has spent decades gearing up for just about every disaster imaginable.
This is what a prepper closet in the city looks like.
My food supply will last for 2 years for 4 people. My wife, my son, my daughter, and then we even have food supply for the dog.
All in, Jason spent thousands on his arsenal of supplies, gear, and training. His best guess on the total cost? Over 60 grand. And he's not alone.
Every time I go to the store, I'm grabbing a little bit of extra stuff.
Brooke Whipple, an outdoor educator who lives in rural Michigan, turned to prepping during the height of the pandemic.
And you know, it really doesn't even take a pandemic. It takes an ice storm or a blizzard or a tornado.
Here, Brooke is using this at-home freeze dryer to help preserve and store her food supply. The shelf life of these strawberries? Over 20 years.
Smells so good. Oh, wow.
This is an industrial-sized freeze dryer. It's large enough to hold up to 10,000 pounds of food.
That is equivalent to about 15 people's worth of food for a year.
Eric Christensen is the CEO of Nutrient Survival. The company, originally focused on nutritious food supplies for camping, made a major pivot during the pandemic.
Store shelves were empty, and we actually had the infrastructure in place with our process and our freeze dryer that we could address that market need.
Now they exclusively focus on the emergency food market. Many of his clients, extreme preppers. And Eric says days after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, business shot up 1,500%.
We are selling food faster than we can make it. The reality is that our business has been on fire for the whole year, and we can't keep up with demand.
And the threat of extreme weather, an escalating war in Europe, and new variants is likely to keep that demand coming. For the news, I'm Rahel Solomon.